Imagine a man so profound that, long after his death, he was not simply remembered, but deified. A mystic whose mastery extended across medicine, metaphysics, and the fabric of time itself. His name was Imhotep. But behind the veil of stone and myth lies a deeper question. Was he simply Egypt's greatest polymath, or a guardian of knowledge that predates civilization? Today, we're not just uncovering history, we're excavating a consciousness that may have shaped the very way we understand the universe. In the ancient sands of Egypt, during the reign of Pharaoh Djoser around 2700 BCE, a man emerged whose genius seemed far beyond his era. His name, Imhotep, would echo not through wars or dynasties, but through temples, symbols, and stars. Unlike conquerors who carved their names into stone through violence, Imhotep etched his legacy through alignment with nature, with spirit, and with the cosmos itself. His origins remain a riddle. Some say he was born of humble blood. Others whisper he carried the seed of celestial ancestry. What's certain is this: Imhotep thought not like a man, but like a mystery unraveling itself through form. He was Djoser's vizier, yes, but far more, a visionary architect whose creations changed the soul of Egypt. Before him, pharaohs were buried in mastabas, flat, lifeless tombs. But Imhotep envisioned something that defied tradition. A monument that reached toward the heavens, mirroring the soul's ascent. Thus, the step pyramid at Saqqara was born, the first great pyramid, not of mud, but of sacred stone. Why a pyramid? To the Egyptian mind, it wasn't just geometry, it was metaphysics. The pyramid mirrored the rays of Ra, a conduit through which divine light could return to its source. And so Imhotep's design became more than a tomb. It was a resonant engine, channeling frequencies between Earth and the celestial. Inside, the pyramid whispered secrets through its hidden shafts, underground passages, and chambers laced with symbolic code. Many scholars believe these esoteric designs prefigure Hermetic principles that would surface thousands of years later. Yet, Imhotep was more than a builder. He was a healer, a pioneer of holistic medicine. While others saw illness as divine punishment, Imhotep saw imbalance. He recorded symptoms, treatments, and the art of harmonizing body, mind, and soul. Later Egyptian medical scrolls still cite his work, describing antiseptics, surgery, even honey as an antibiotic, millennia before science caught up. He believed the body could heal itself if aligned with universal order. Centuries later, Hippocrates echoed these ideas, perhaps not as an innovator, but as a torchbearer of Imhotep's flame. So revered was Imhotep that the Greeks merged his identity with Asclepius, their god of medicine. But medicine was only one petal of his vast lotus of knowledge. As high priest of Ptah, the Egyptian god of creation, Imhotep was an initiate of life's deepest riddles. In Egypt, true knowledge wasn't taught. It was transmitted, passed from soul to soul through sacred ritual. Imhotep likely led these spiritual universities, temples that taught not just theology, but astronomy, alchemy, and sacred math. He taught initiates to see the cosmos not as myth, but as machine and mind. But did his knowledge remain confined to Egypt? Or did it ripple outward into Greece, Rome, and beyond? Imhotep began as man, but over time, he became myth, a conduit of something timeless. Few mortals are deified. Why was he? Perhaps it was because he fused science with spirit, form with force. Perhaps because he grasped the hidden harmonies of the universe, truths that modern physics is only now beginning to echo. Even in death, Imhotep's legend grew. By 1500 BCE, he was worshipped as a god, merged with Thoth, the Egyptian scribe of divine law. And later, his essence became part of Hermes Trismegistus, the thrice great sage whose teachings laid the foundation of Hermeticism. Who was Hermes? A man? A myth? Or a mask worn by the same eternal teacher, Imhotep himself? The Hermetic texts speak of the unity of spirit and matter, the correspondence between macrocosm and microcosm, and the path of ascension through knowledge. These truths were not born in Greece. They echoed from Egypt, from temples and diagrams designed not to impress, but to initiate. If Hermes was a symbol, Imhotep was its soul, its first earthly voice. His wisdom spanned medicine, geometry, and the transmutation of spirit. Not just alchemy of metals, but of consciousness. To him, enlightenment was not escape, but synthesis, the meeting of visible and invisible, material and divine. During the Greek encounter with Egypt, Imhotep's teachings resonated again. Philosophers like Plato and Pythagoras likely studied doctrines passed down through priestly schools bearing his imprint. And his influence may have reached even farther. Some believe the Essenes, a Jewish sect that preserved mystical knowledge, were touched by this ancient current. Their practices, healing, astrology, inner alchemy, mirror Hermetic thought. Was Imhotep's wisdom preserved in the shadows? The title thrice great given to Hermes may in truth belong to Imhotep, the one who mastered the sacred triad of medicine, architecture, and spiritual science. He healed, he built, and he unveiled. And yet, one mystery remains unsolved: his tomb. Though temples were raised in his honor, his final resting place remains lost. Was it hidden deliberately, guarded by initiates? Or does it hold a secret too potent for the unready? Some say his tomb contains texts or artifacts capable of reshaping reality. If Imhotep was the first Hermes, then he is not just history, he is an archetype, an eternal whisper of the fusion between science and spirit. True immortality for Imhotep was not etched in stone. It was etched in consciousness. His legacy is not buried. It pulses through philosophies, through diagrams of sacred geometry, through the Hermetic axiom, as above, so below. The Kabbalion, Hermeticism's sacred text, outlines principles of mentalism, vibration, polarity, rhythm. But are these ideas new? Or did they echo from Imhotep's mind long before they were scribed? The pyramid he built may not have been a tomb, but a symbolic machine for awakening, a tool for tuning the soul to cosmic frequencies. Egyptian temples, aligned to constellations, encoded ritual in rhythm and form. Imhotep saw the body as a universe, and the universe as a body. Every number, every angle he used carried meaning, not aesthetic, but alchemical. Centuries later, Pythagoreans would echo this view, but Imhotep was the origin. Did he inherit this knowledge or rediscover it? Some whisper of pre-Egyptian civilizations, Atlantis, Lemuria, or other forgotten masters. Was Imhotep the last voice of an ancient lineage? His wisdom may have been hidden, deliberately encoded by priesthoods who feared misuse. Egypt's temples were schools of cosmic initiation, not open libraries. Only those prepared were given the deeper laws. As the world changed, these mysteries fragmented. The Greeks and Romans brought different worldviews, and the sacred flame was scattered. Yet it smoldered, surfacing in alchemical texts, esoteric symbols, and mystical lineages that survived in silence. Imhotep understood something we still chase. That power lies not in domination, but in harmony with unseen forces. His teachings live encoded in stone, number, and myth, waiting for those who can read between the lines. In Hermeticism, it's said that certain masters reincarnate to keep the flame alive. Could Imhotep have returned again and again under different names, quietly guiding history? In Egyptian belief, the enlightened ones, could cross between death and life. Was Imhotep among them? A consciousness that transcends time, waiting not to be found, but to be remembered. Maybe his return is not personal, but symbolic. Maybe his wisdom is re-emerging now, when humanity needs it most. Modern science begins to rediscover ancient truths, the connection between vibration and matter, consciousness and healing, form and frequency. Medicine returns to energy. Physics begins to see mind as matter. Spirituality reintegrates with logic. We are rediscovering what Imhotep knew, that everything is connected. Healing is not just chemical, it is vibrational. Architecture is not just structural, it is energetic. Consciousness is not isolated, it is cosmic. From quantum mechanics to sacred geometry, Imhotep's ghost haunts our laboratories and cathedrals. So if masters return through ideas, then Imhotep walks among us now. And as science and spirituality merge again, we revisit his path, a path between realms. But will our world accept this wisdom? History warns us, truth is often hidden, not for lack of seekers, but fear of its power. Libraries have burned, scrolls have vanished, but wisdom, real wisdom, cannot be destroyed. It waits. Imhotep, the sage who outlived time, still whispers from the stone, from the stars, and from the silence between thoughts. May we have the courage to listen.